Welcome out to another episode of It's All Been Trek Before. This time, it's another special episode. We're reviewing the Star Trek game Fluxx. We had a lot of fun doing it, spoiler alert. Hope you're having a lot of fun on your Thanksgiving if you listen to us, or on your Thanksgiving holiday. Maybe you'll be like, you know what, I gotta play this game. Or maybe for Christmas. Makes a great gift. We're in the season now. Speaking of a great gift, and speaking of the other part of this, you could see us play this, or you still can become a Patreon member. Patreon.com/IABD. You get everything there. You get to follow, you get all the bonus stuff from us and the bonus stuff from the mothership. It's all been done radio hour. So sign up today or give it to somebody or give it to yourself and give it to you. Here we are. We're reviewing Star Trek Fluxx on It's All Been Trek Before.
Welcome out to a very special episode of It's All Been Trek Before. Your regular hosts are here.
This is Steven.
And Keith.
Olivia James. We have played Star Trek Fluxx, and that's what we're going to talk about. I do think we kind of covered this if you watched for Patreon, the video-only version where we actually played the game, and you could watch the whole thing. We did not have cameras over our shoulders, which would have been cool, but you could see us talk through it. Your Fluxx experience. None. Keith has some. You want to address that, Keith?
I might even say more than some.
Okay.
But it's, what we did was probably typical of how a Fluxx game goes. It's really trying to figure out how to position yourself to meet the goal and while sabotaging other people from getting it as you see it. Which is why after a certain point, we started off being pretty open about what we had, but you started to see it was crucial to be able to either surprise someone.
Well, there were surprise cards.
Yeah, especially if you knew that they had a power that they could use to steal something that you wanted to put down, and etc. You have a goal that's going to be met if they do, etc.
We were open, I think, about some of the cards we discarded because it was like, oh, this is a cool card, we should share it with each other, but it's out of play now. But we quickly figured out there's no duplicate cards, which I did not expect.
Yeah, we actually went through the entire deck.
We got the reshuffle, barely.
Yeah.
Barely. Yeah, so the game's still out. You might be able to see if you're watching the video version that I have essentially the whole crew except for Uhura. Even have Ensign Smith, the Mirror Universe version, Guardian of Forever, Enterprise, Communicator, Computer. So we got to a point where I basically had the whole crew for the most part, and you guys just didn't want me to win, which makes sense.
Because essentially the goal usually involves having a certain combination of those cards.
Of crew or ships or equipment or... Yeah. And at one point, I basically almost had... I mean, I got rid of the phaser at one point, but I basically had all the equipment at one time or another, too. I had the transport, but Keith took it away from me.
Yeah.
You've never played Star Trek Fluxx, though, right?
Correct.
Yeah, neither had I. I had this game, but I hadn't opened it until now. Really, I guess we should talk about first impressions. First impressions on the game Star Trek Fluxx.
We played the TOS version, so of course I'm extra interested. Yeah, once I got the game down, then I just, in hindsight, now analyzing, it's like I thought I could have played better, but then I was like, I just actually got bad cards to an extent.
There's always a bit of that. There's always the bit of luck that you can have.
You had a lot of goals.
I had a lot of goals, which I think also, and then I had to play them, some of the rules cards that were down, like you have to do this, and then I got those 2 creeper cards, and it took me a while to get rid of those too. So I never really got to be aggressive as far as getting to my goal. Although I was pretty close for a little while there. Mm-hmm. And if you hadn't got the card, your winning card, if you hadn't used that, then I could have got the Enterprise back and been in business. But yeah, the rules cards are interesting, but there were also a lot of, I'll call them Doomsday cards, although that was a specific card. But like I had a lot of cards that were like everyone throws all their. I was gonna play everyone gets the same amount of cards and then I deal them out. So you guys would have got some of the cards I had sitting in my deck, except. Then, by the time you had all of the crew, Olivia, then there's a good chance you would have won the game then, too. So it's like, I don't know if I can play this card. Actually, I know I couldn't, really, at that point. But also, it wasn't helping me to hold on to that card. But it wasn't ending the game, but it wasn't furthering my mission.
This is pretty balanced. I mean, as far as... Yeah. I don't know if we should have shuffled the cards better. Maybe that's what happened. Something like
Steven
that.
shuffled, so it's his fault.
It could be me,
I don't know, but... You can see that it could be challenging or quick depending upon how things flow.
I mean, in theory, you could be dealt the goal and the 2 cards you need out of it.
Yeah.
Right. There's something I was going to say. Yeah, this was pretty balanced. There are other more chaotic versions of these, I think, depending upon like the property that's attached to it. Then there's also something similar called We Didn't Play Test This. You ever heard of that one?
I've heard of it, yes.
Yeah, it's a very similar thing, except they make a point of making it just really wacky and having things that would usually end the game early or make it too easy for someone to win or too hard for someone to win, that kind of thing.
So I was looking up how many Star Trek versions of Fluxx they have, because I have this Archer expansion, which does say combine any or all of the Fluxes in the Star Trek series.
Interesting.
So you can add it to any of the Fluxes.
Oh, Archer.
I was doing the same thing.
Oh,
This makes a lot more sense now.
So they have on the Archer, it shows on the back original series TNG, DS9, and Voyager. I have the DS9. I also there is a Chrono that has Kirk, Picard, and Janeway on the cover. That's like a time travel version. And there's another expansion that has pets. It's got Spot the cat and Archer's dog Porthos. That's another like thin pack like this available. So yeah, I looking on Amazon, they have original Next and Deep Space Nine available. They don't have Next Gen or Voyager available. But I think I will go ahead and get the other expansion pack and the Chrono because those are great, and then I'll have to collect
So
the other ones later. I'm going to open this DS9, but I love the back cover that it shows one of the goals is from the Enterprise, and you have to get Worf and O'Brien, which I like that.
Ooh. So, I mean, the Next Gen and Voyager exist, but they're just not available.
They're not available on Amazon, so they must be a little more rare,
Interesting.
or like they've been sold out.
I get them on Etsy for $700.
I don't know. I will definitely be looking into that.
I knew what to expect because it was Flux, and I just wanted to see how it was going to go, and I'm not disappointed. It's been a long time since I've played one, but this is I feel kind of proud of of how much fun. And
Yeah, and I guess I didn't give an overall. I mean, I thought it was fun. I was thinking a lot, and it's the first time you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't as simple or whatever as our experience with the Klingon guy that looks like Gowron, but it wasn't the last time we did one of these. But yeah, I thought it was fun, and they've got the Romulan Bird of Prey on the Romulan card, which is great. Short of having Joanne Linville on there, but other than that,
Kind of go through these while we're talking just to see what else is in them. But
this
my
is one of
first
those,
impression.
Sorry, this is one of those card opening things that they do on the internet. I hear.
Oh, the box opening. What are they called?
Yeah, they'll open like a box of baseball cards or whatever, and it's like, oh, here's what I got.
The Greatest Generation, one of my favorite Star Trek rewatch podcasts, top 2 for sure.
Yeah.
They in their early
What's the other one?
they're number 1. We're number 2.
Oh, we're the other one. I was just making sure we were in the top 2.
Yeah, we're number 2 though.
I get that a lot.
Are we really?
Of my personal opinion. If we're talking ratings, I doubt we cracked the top 10 of Star Trek Rewatch podcasts. I don't know though. I don't know all that many other than like the official one, which I think is pretty boring. And then
Whoa.
no, it is.
I've been getting a lot of that. I sent you guys, I think, a couple clips from that newbie Trek. So they're interesting, and I just see clips on Facebook or they show the clips and they're talking over it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to look into those guys to see how newbie they are.
So yeah, my first impression is I had a lot of fun. Really love this. Can't wait to play it again. I'm glad it's in my collection. That's why I'm looking for additional versions because this was a really fun game. This is the brochure in the Deep Space Nine pack, and it has original series, Next Gen, and then DS9 arriving in early 2019. Why is the brochure saying DS9's arriving when it was in the DS9 pack? They did not reprint the brochure when DS9 went live.
Well, there you go. That is why.
But they also advertise Chrono Trek as a game, not as Chrono Trek Flex. So I wonder if Chrono Trek Flex is different than this regular Chrono Trek.
Probably.
So is Chrono like another series of games? Now I'm very confused about that. That's a whole nother rabbit hole to go down. Because Chrono Trek Fluxx is... Star Trek Chrono Trek is available now, pretty inexpensively. I'm Googling and I'm not seeing another game called Chrono Trek. So maybe that they just renamed it Star Trek Chrono Trek before it actually was released.
This is listed under time travel games.
Yeah.
Which is a completely different category.
It is, but when I Google Chrono Trek, I don't see anything that exists except for the Star Trek Chrono Trek Fluxx. So now I'm thinking that was probably like, they just hadn't named it yet?
No, it was supposed to arrive in August 2019.
Okay, so yeah, I'm guessing. So, 5-card mission. That's fun. Like 5-year mission in the Deep Space Nine. Acquisition. So very Ferengi friendly. Crew. Obviously, you're going to get some of the year. I like that these are sorted together so we can see like Deep Space Nine, Benjamin Sisko, which is the captain version, as it should be, the Wormhole, Jadzia Dex, Odo, Bashir, Nerys. O'Brien can discard malfunctions, which Scotty had a similar role. Worf, Quark, Winadami, your favorite, Louise Fletcher. Wayoon, who we're about to meet. Very excited about that. There's a lot more character cards. Dukat,
Nice.
Garrick, who lets you exchange with any visitor or other personnel. Holosuite, Morn, where you cannot speak during your turn if you have this in play. And if you fail, you must move this to another player.
Well, that was going to be my next question: is how much does each one vary?
Defiant.
But that's
You get it, an orb.
So that's kind of what I meant.
Jake Sisko.
When I said before, I was wondering if it had any dares. And
Yeah.
You get Nog qualified. Gold Press Platinum
I think the hardest
Transporter,
part
and Rom gets
for
one
me
too.
was keeping straight what the rules were, and eventually I didn't have that many cards, so those are easy to keep straight. Whereas you had like the transporter and all those guys had all those.
I was not using all my cards to their full advantage because I was forgetting I had those rules.
Well, see, I guess that's where the learning curve can come into play, or be helpful once we go through it enough times.
Yeah.
Strategy deepens because then you start to remember, I really want this card because I'm going to do this with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like I could have won much quicker if I kept better track of the cards I had played in front of me, the keeper. A lot of these action cards seem very similar. Of course, there's a Dabu card, but for the most part, like a lot of them, the Trials and Tribulations card, episode you haven't seen yet. Shapeshifters, you have to get the Founders and Odo. The Founders are one of those complication cards. What do you call them? Creeper cards?
Probably.
Gamma Quadrant, Runabout or Defiant through the Wormhole. If you get Dukat and DS9, you get Tarek Noor, so you win, which is pretty cool. Dukat and Garrick wins you? That seems a little bit... Anyway. Quark and the Holosuite, rentals available. I hate that this is all DS-9. Every card that abbreviates DS9, they added a dash. I don't know why. This definitely includes all 7 seasons, but it does not include, if you're wondering, the main character they added in Season 7. Not part of this set.
No Lita. I noticed there wasn't a Lita.
There was not a Lita. She didn't qualify as important enough. No Cassidy Yates.
Yeah.
I feel like DS9 has so many recurring characters, you have to decide which ones are most important.
Yeah.
And I think it's telling they picked Garrick, a win, Nog and Rom, and Wayoon.
Yeah.
Wayoon was the other one.
Okay.
You haven't met yet, but that's the main Vorta that we're going to get to know.
Okay.
Played by Jeffrey Combs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Interestingly, so this Archer one, you play like Jonathan Archer, you get to steal any Starfleet officer from another hand. Or they have this card that lets you steal Kirk, Spock, or McCoy. And there's 2 copies of this, but that would definitely be more useful in the original series than any other version, even though it says you can add this to any version. And then the rest of these are very generic in that, like, Archer with either the original or the Enterprise D. So that would work with Next Gen or original, but not DS9 or Voyager. And then this goal includes 2 characters from this expansion. And then I like this, Archer plus any of the other captains from the 4 other Star Trek series. The Captain's Table, which was a book series where they each had a volume. They had it was I think it was 8 books because it was Kirk, Picard, Sisko, Janeway. But then they had it was 8 because the 4 Kirk, Picard, Sisko, Janeway. Then you could there was also one that had Captain Sulu.
Okay.
And one that had Captain Calhoun from New Frontier.
Okay.
So it was just 6. There wasn't an Archer book in that.
Okay.
But yeah, Calhoun and... No, there was a Pike book too, so there were at least 7.
Was there a Pike?
There was at least 7, because there was a Pike book, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't an Archer one. So, yeah, then there's this, like, Temporal Cold War where you combine it with an Orb, or a Guardian of Forever, or that's a Voyager ship in there. Archer with either Riker or Troy, so there's some good next-gen combos too. Temporal Rift and Voyager... So it really does have some cards that go with any of them, but I do feel it's most useful with the original series, the Archer expansion.
Interesting.
It's a little disappointing the Star Trek Enterprise didn't get its own pack.
Yeah, that was my next thought. It was like...
Yeah, you just get the expansion pack, but...
So I was noticing that the card backs look like they're the same.
Yes.
So you can just put them in fairly seamlessly.
Well, I think with DS9 they'd be the same too, but Also, you wouldn't want to mix DS9 and original because that would just make it more complicated.
Unless maybe you want that. I mean, after it stops becoming challenging.
That's a 2-hour game instead of a 1 hour. I would imagine, and I'm like, because a little of the original series were like stealing a Starfleet officer, I would imagine there are definitely cards in these sets that you could interchange that will work. But some of the goals are pretty series specific. Other than the Arch expansion had some goals that weren't so series specific, but the original series goals we were seeing were series specific, and so were a lot of the DS9 ones.
Yep. But that's what would make it even more complex.
Yeah. So you're saying, Keith, if we play this a bunch of times, we get bored with it?
I don't know. I mean, I think it really depends on who you're playing with and how many people. I mean, it's obviously it changes quite a bit. With those kinds of factors. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if it would have been. I think it's certainly harder to dominate if you have more people playing.
Yeah, I think that would make it interesting and learn. Just like any game, the more you learn it and like, okay, I'm not thinking as much as I'm just reacting. I know what this card means and that card means.
Right.
Yeah, I think I would have gone more. I'll say scorched earth, but that seems dramatic. But there's a lot of those like just get everything off the table or whatever.
Yes,
kind of
exactly.
Things that I would have done, or maybe I would have done, but I think I was in a place where I'm like, well, I don't know. I think that was before I got the creeper cards. Although really getting rid of all that would have helped me too. But so some was just learning the game, and just like I said, just like any other game.
Yeah. So those you can see there are probably more advanced strategies that are available right there. Like you're saying, like you might become more familiar with the fact that this is more of a no-win situation. Let's just wipe.
Why was there no Kobayashi Maru?
I don't believe in the no-win scenario.
There should absolutely be Kobayashi Maru card.
You changed the rule,
right? What?
Or it's either it's two. It's one is the Kobayashi Maru card. You can't win. It's a no-win scenario, and the other one is you change the rules of the game so you can win. Change your programming. Got a special commendation for original thinking.
Sorry, there's somebody messaging me about my genitalia. We'll talk about that later. Okay. Just a friend, not even like a...
Oh, okay.
Just like, well, you're trans. Let me talk to you about...
That's our other podcast.
Yeah. He's like, I've seen pictures in college, so what are you... Stories for another time. Whew. He's like, why would you want to get that cut off? And I was like, I'm not... never mind. We'll talk about that later. Nothing's been cut off as of right now, nor if any decision's been made. Anyway, Star Trek Fluxx.
Yes.
Right now, the fact that those messages are coming in is just not great timing, right? So, yeah, this game was hella fun. Like, it definitely felt like play with the goals. The goals are so specific that and because there's no repetition cards, it feels like at times there's no way to win, and then all of a sudden it feels like a win's inevitable when I've got 10 crew cards down.
I thought we'd reach a point where, like I said, things just all of a sudden would reach entropy or max whatever.
Yes.
And we got there, but right before then though, it did seem like no one's gonna win, and I can see if you're trying. The changing the goals constantly can cut both ways because you're thwarting someone, but you can also, if you got the card and you've got, if you draw that goal card and you've got Sulu and Chekhov, boom, you're out or whatever,
So you saw then too the hand limits do those sorts of things too.
Yeah.
Where it might not the first time through, but by the end you had a lot of cards. I could only have one.
Yeah.
At a certain point, so I was like forced to play something that was going to be counterproductive to me.
Yeah, you guys could have let me win at any time. So
we could have been done 15 minutes sooner. I was like, you know what, let's be done. Because I had a couple that were just, because you had Transporter and
Kirk,
Enterprise and all that. So but I guess in the sense of, well, like I said, if you hadn't got that card, I would have got the Enterprise back. And I would have had a clean slate and been able to start over again. But I got stuck with those 2 creeper cards that you can't win with.
Well, I guess there's a few things we didn't really specify for people who haven't actually seen or played the game. It's just so some of the crew people and some of the equipment actually have special powers on them. So
there's that.
They're just they are themselves collectible parts of a goal, but they can also help you either steal other keepers from other players, or
Yeah, and I guess as a general overview, you have your goal card, which is everyone has a collectively one goal, and if you reach that, you win the game. There's action cards, which are specific actions that you can take on your turn. There are the character cards we're talking about, are like transporter and all that stuff that help you meet the goal. Rule cards, and I think those are the ones that really were were tough for us to keep track of. Especially at one time we had 5 of them out there.
Yeah, if you have too many, there are too many things you could be doing. You keep forgetting to even look at it.
Creeper cards tended to be, they were all bad pretty much.
Well,
For the most part.
I had an action card that I didn't do because I was the one that had the most keepers. That was basically you have to pick up all your keepers in your hand. And if that was played in conjunction with, a hand limit of 2.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a good way, like, if you had that to hurt me when I've got 10 cards on the table.
Yeah.
Because I there was one card I tried to play that was going to have you pick them all up, but...
We had like a reverse or a secret or whatever. Yeah.
So.
But there were definitely cards that could have negated my advantage if they hit at the right times.
Yeah, and just didn't quite happen.
No.
Yeah, it's somebody going out, going out and rummy or calling gin right before you got to what you needed. Or
Right. So the other thing about the powers I was mentioning is just I like the flavor they put on it as far as. That makes certain pieces of equipment intuitively more powerful than others. It makes certain crew people, like say a Kirk versus a Sulu or something, more powerful because he's the captain, and the character himself, just recruiting other crew members and taking them to.
Kirk was a great card, but none of the other main characters. I guess there were only 3 main characters.
Scotty did something.
Scotty did something as O'Brien does, but Spock, McCoy, Sulu, Chekhov, Uhura, none of them had any special power.
That's a good.
And I really think like Spock should have. If nobody else did, I understand. But Spock should have had something.
Yeah.
Like maybe he could fix a malfunction, similar to I guess that's Scotty's role.
Or you can mind meld with another character card.
Or something to prevent.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Spock should have had some power.
Yeah.
Also, a little bit disappointed that it was full original series TV show and didn't include the movie stuff. I want a full expansion for the movies.
Yeah.
Also, if you're doing original series TV show, and we saw the DS9 had some reoccurring and stuff, you don't include Chapel and Rand?
Well, we did have Chapel.
Yeah.
Oh, we did have Chapel. I forgot about Chapel.
But
you don't have Rand?
There was some, like I love they had the Doomsday Machine in there. I wish there were a few more of those.
Right. And we had Ensign Smith, who was our generic red shirt. That makes sense.
Yes, yeah.
But I would have loved to see a few more characters. I feel like there were more characters than the DS9 version.
Yeah, Eve Keeler, T'Pring.
Right. Sarek?
A Commodore. Yeah, Sarek. Yeah.
A Commodore, the Vulcan commander.
Yeah. Those are really cool. Yeah. Give me Joanna Linville, the Romulan commander. I'll be happy.
It's funny. I'm just thinking. It made me think of how many obscure little bits that I'd seen in just the screensaver before I'd been watching the original series, and there would be available there, just like the flower or something, or a Vulcan lyre, or just any number of other things they could just throw in there for expansions. But
I mean, this set is begging for expansions. Yes. I mean, the original series alone, 79 episodes. Yeah. That's at least 80 cards. Yeah. A Trelane. What would have a Trelane card done to that?
Thought about that too.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's no con. Yeah. How can you not have a con? Yeah. I would have loved a Nomad. Yeah. I would have loved a Baylock.
I was thinking of Nomad too.
Gary 7. Right? I'm glad they threw the Guardian in, and the Doomsday Machine. Those are at the top of the list. Telosians would have been cool. Yeah. A Captain Pike. Would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no, what's his face? A transporter.
Scotty.
No.
Kyle.
Kyle.
Yeah.
No Lieutenant Kyle.
Yeah.
At least they threw in Chekhov. It wasn't full
season one.
Yeah. And I basically had a Spock's Brain card, which I mentioned early on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I definitely feel like this was too small a deck for this series. We need at least double the size of deck. Yeah. Not for the goals, but for everything else.
Yeah, just for flavor.
Is it pretty typical, Keith, because you've played Fluxx, to have goals that are so specific that only like 2 cards in the entire deck are going to win the game for you?
I don't recall. I mean, this didn't feel like it was that unreasonable in the sense of,
it did to me.
I
Did
think
you?
it wouldn't have been challenging enough if there had been repeats.
I think if I hadn't had the creepers, I could have won early.
I didn't necessarily need repeats, but I wanted some goals to be like any Starfleet officer in any piece of equipment.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I see
Like
what you're saying.
the fact that every goal was like 2 specific cards or 3 specific cards, and some of the goals you had to have the Mirror Universe modifier on the correct character.
right.
Like not even just have it on the play. Like you had it already attached to Smith, and one of the goals you needed it attached to Spock, and I'm like, that is so specific.
It is strange that there weren't more malfunctions or mirror universes or something.
I feel like there
that
should have been multiple mirror universes for sure.
for modifiers. Yeah. But I think you even saw something to that effect, and didn't the DS9 version have something like a multiple crew members or something like that? Or something?
Yeah.
But there were only a couple of those goals. Most of the goals were still very specific, like this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that they're already. That's them thinking ahead to when it would get too easy at a certain point. They want to start off so that it's going to be easier at the beginning because people are learning, but then it's going to start getting more challenging because people are going to start figuring out too quickly.
Yeah.
That's the change I would have made, I guess, is just having some other options to end the game because I felt like it was so specific. Although it obviously worked out. We finished it just after we ended. And as you said, like, if I'd gotten some of those goals instead of you had, or if you gotten the throw everything back instead of me keeping it and hiding it, there were ways we could extend or shorten.
And if I used just reset everything earlier before you had all of the crew.
Right.
If I did it when you had half the crew, we might have got there, but I might have, and then maybe the table shifts or whatever. And I guess now that, as we're going through, like, they had the Guardian of Forever. I forgot, I think we mentioned that, but so they did have some of those things. I guess on like the action cards and some of that stuff, it'd be cool to just see some of those, side characters or features show up. But again, I still enjoyed it. They had the Robin and Bird of Prey. There's a lot of good things on there, and it could overcomplicate things. But I'm trying to think, when did this come out then?
This
the first
game?
one, the first version, the one we played.
Oh, I put it away.
Would have been in 2010s, I guess.
Yeah, because the DS9 was coming in 2019.
Oh, so it's fairly recent then.
2018.
Okay, so that's a new thing. Okay.
So original and next gen have been out for 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years.
So I guess there's. Let's keep it simple, and then but interesting.
So anything else you would have changed about this game?
Nothing that comes to mind at the moment. I know something's going to hit.
Yeah, I think most of my stuff is on the stuff I was just talking about. Like, if they could, I know it's like, well, we can't have a card that's just from the Cloud Minders, but if there's a picture,
We could.
Well, there's
Lights of Zatar. Lazarus lets you bring a character back that's been discarded.
Right, yeah, or especially with Lazarus, gets rid of a character.
Well,
But yeah, I'm sorry, Keith. But in my mind, it's just like, okay, here's and this is maybe not. We talk about this a lot, but just like I know that reference, but it's not an action card, and the action may not have anything to do with. I'm trying to cat's paw or whatever, but you're like, oh, that's those little creatures that did a cat's paw or whatever. But maybe, and this is definitely, I feel like I'm nitpicking, but that might have made it even more like inclusive or like, oh yeah, if you're a real fan of the show, I'm getting all this.
I was going to say that something you were saying before about like the episodes. I mean, you could have like the rule cards could be episodes.
Yeah.
That would change like the what the goal of
with all the flipping and switching, how was Turnabout Intruder?
Right? There's a game, I can't remember what it's called, but I played it once, I don't own it, where there's like mission cards, and
Something
essentially
like that.
there's only like 15 in the set, but essentially those are 15 episodes, and you have to get the cards that match up with the episodes to win to complete the mission and win the game.
And
I think I played with Kayla.
Your Kirk, any card that every other card becomes a Kirk. Any other crew member also is Kirk.
Right.
And I don't know. Flux was a game before they added all these other activities to it. So
I would be interested in playing the original version. Have you played the original, or have you only played
Original Flux?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Because then it makes me wonder who was advising them, or they were just like, all right, we know these characters. I mean, but there are some nice touches in there that are very.
But now I'm curious what the original Flux was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very similar with those kinds of modifiers of the draw and the draw and play essentially.
But but keepers and goals.
Oh no, those are just. God, I'm trying to remember now exactly what those were.
Let's find
They could have been something just as simple as shapes or.
shapes.
I can't remember exactly what was going on with that. What was it? Now I need to look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking up too
But
because
it was something. It was something to that effect.
yeah. So the original Flux, there's like a death card as a keeper.
Ooh.
Action go fish, gold night and day. Yeah, like there's night and day cards as keepers, I guess. So it's very like ethereal. It's not Flux is. Yeah, it looks like the moon is a card. Daydreams is a goal.
Interesting.
Like it's
Okay.
it's got like a moon, like the moon, but then like also crescent moon is like part of
alright.
the
Yeah.
thing. It looks very. I don't know. But then there's also a toaster as a keeper
Well,
and the rocket. I don't know. I'm very confused on what
You're expanding
Flux.
upon that then too. Yes. Well, I mean, something that was probably something generic and non-copyrighted. Essentially, these things they could just sort of use.
But clearly they found something that worked and then latched on with
Right.
franchises.
yeah.
Firefly. I want to play the Firefly. There's only 13 episodes, so I feel like you can
Oh,
cover
that's
everything
true.
that's
That's true.
available in 13 episodes.
Very true.
I do think it's important to note if you Google this, Flux is spelled with 2 X's. And
Yeah.
if you look up Fluxes, plural, it's 2 X's and then ES. Would you play this again?
Yeah.
Yeah. This was fun.
Yeah.
Keith,
Yep.
you're glad we chose. I mean, I know you don't know all the other Star Trek games I have on my shelf to compare it to, but do you think this was worthy, or you regret it and wish you'd picked one of the other ones instead?
A little of both.
Okay.
No. This is certainly a fun game. This is something that would commonly come up at just typical parties and so forth. 'Cause you can see it's just something really low entry, get in, just out.
Yeah, like it's complicated to an extent, but after a couple of reps, it wouldn't be as complicated.
And so once you know your guests have played any Flux at all before, you can just roll into them out, and it's just.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about the cryptic.
I haven't played that, but I would love to play it. I do get the impression that that's going to take, like, we need to pick a Saturday or Sunday afternoon rather than a weeknight.
Right.
Same thing with Star Trek Panic. We need more than an hour to play it. I mean, this took us an hour 15.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's about the limit for a weeknight, especially with then doing a reaction episode.
Yeah.
What was your annoyance from Star Trek Flux?
Personally, the creeper card, but that's not going to get it. I think there should be fewer rule cards,
Maybe.
but I'm obviously not a game creator. But
I think it's just
so that would be my annoying.
You're right. I think it's a concentration of the way the things came up, essentially. But
That could have just been the one time we played,
I would say that.
and I could have taken them all away because I did start removing a bunch of them.
Yeah. The annoyance would have been. I think we already said this. Just I think there should have been more duplicate modifiers for something for the concept they were going for.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially for
Like
mirror universe
Yes.
malfunctions and so on. I would have liked to see those come up more often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say my annoyance is the specificity and the difficulty to get those specific goals
Yeah.
was my annoyance. Who are you having a drink with? I'm having a drink with the creator of this game so I can make suggestions on how it should be modified.
Yes. Yeah. That's good. Whoever came up with Doomsday Machine. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least because I thought that was one of the. Obviously, it works for the game, but the drawing wasn't great. But I didn't think, and it could have been maybe if I had my glasses on, it would have maybe it was perfect. But no, those the little
It
touches.
didn't look perfect.
Okay,
No.
those little touches were nice. The Romulan bird of prey.
Yeah.
So whoever helped get those little things in there, I wanted more of them, but at least they got some of those in there. So.
Having drink with mix it up.
Mix it up.
The card that would have been shuffling everything.
Yeah.
And also mixing drinks. So, yeah.
I don't think we need to do shady or inspiring because those are serious specific.
Yeah.
Ranking the game, better or worse than the VHS game? I think this was better for replayability, but for novelty, the VHS game was better.
Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of where I was going. Like, I want to play this some more. That other one was a lot of fun.
I'd play it
Especially if
again.
you're, like Galron adjacent. Yeah.
I played again, but I feel like that one's got a limit of like 5 or 6 times, and you're gonna start to get bored.
Oh, the
Whereas I feel like this, you could play a dozen
There's
times.
many more possibilities.
And,
Yeah. IDIC is much more
Yes.
alive in this one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Pretty much. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. You gonna choose another game next season or 2 seasons,
Perhaps.
sometime in the near future?
Yeah, I mean that's there's
We've got like
so many
10
things
other
to do,
games.
that
Yeah.
I'm curious about.
I love the Star Trek Uno. I know it's simple because it's regular Uno plus like 4 other
Yeah.
cards, but
Yeah.
I love the 4 other cards and what that does to the game of Uno. I am so grateful Keith picked this, even though it wasn't.
Yeah.
I keep picking books. I'm sorry. I'm making you guys spend hours and hours reading because Keith's like, come play a game.
Yeah.
And I have loved these games.
Yeah, for a behind the curtain perspective, yeah, like I enjoyed very much reading the book, and I was on track, and then I got behind. I was like, and I may have said this on that podcast, like, yeah, I read the entire last half in one sitting, but which was great. I enjoyed that book very much. But also for this, I was like, I feel like there's something else I should be doing.
Nope.
Just
Nope.
show up and play.
Yeah.
So
I listened to the audio ashes of Eden since we recorded that episode, so I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
we'll release this after that.
yeah.
Could not tell first glance, and maybe it was my mood and whatever concentration because I was driving while I was listening. Could not tell what had been cut. Like
Oh.
it felt like a pretty complete story.
Okay, all right.
Like it definitely had the prologue, the epilogue,
Yeah.
all the beats.
Yeah.
Keith's right. There was
Oh,
probably a
the
little
audiobook.
less. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably a little less of the like Sulu scenes,
Uh-huh.
but also it's 2.5 hours, and it took us like 7-8 hours to read
Yeah.
in our heads, not out loud.
Yeah.
And it.
It's amazing how they do it.
6 hours,
Yeah.
maybe 6 hours in our head. But yeah, it was like, what did you cut? You had to have cut like 75%.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell. I'm sure it was because you cut from every scene. So it doesn't feel like you're missing as much.
That's
Rather than cutting
Yeah.
whole scenes, you're cutting bits of every scene.
Well, I mean, there were a lot of things you guys were talking about that
You
I
said
had
you didn't.
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
even
Yeah.
they didn't even cover. They didn't even get into the intricacies of certain things, and
Yeah.
as
And we're
I-
pretty sure it was the same book.
and I think that for Kirk, I mean, to the whole storyline with Taylani and everything,
Oh.
they really made that seem a lot tamer
Oh, yeah.
than what.
Yeah.
as far as like
Yeah.
the ick factor and everything. There's a lot. Yeah,
A less sick factor,
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that.
there's enough. Before you're going, but it was very forgiving in a sense of you're kind of along for the ride with Kirk, going, what is going on? Why is this happening? Is he getting played? What's going on over here? Oh, you see this other thing, and it seems very much like she's really just someone who's much older than she looks, who is taking advantage of the way she looks.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
Follow us on Patreon.
Please. Patreon.com/IAB.
If you already are, thank you. If you are not, get on board. And then you can hear it. And, well, our next special episode, I think everyone's getting, right? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? I can't remember.
We haven't decided what's our exclusive. I know the gameplay will be exclusive.
Okay.
But one of these 3, either Ashes, what we just recorded, or Cuckoo is going to be Patreon 2. I just haven't decided which one. So if you two want to weigh in, feel free.
Hey.
Our listeners, it's going to be too late for them to weigh in.
That's a good point.
We may also do that Star Trek Experience. We may have 5 bonus episodes instead of 3
that's
this
right.
time
Yeah,
because if we do that Star Trek Experience, yeah. Well, okay. So bonuses, we're going to be back soon for Deep Space Nine Season 4, which you will not want to miss. Worf, Klingons, Full Dominion War, and also Voyager Season 2. Some really cool stuff. Seska returns. Amelia Earhart.
Is it Amy Adams? Because that'd be great.
It's not Amy Adams. This was pre-Amy Adams. And lots of other great stuff. Until then, live long.
Keep on creeping and prosper. That was the creeper.
Yeah, no, I got it. But we moved away from that, Steven.
It's All Been Done presents.
Who's got the time?